You're gonna.
I
I
you
turned
say
it
hello
on. Yeah,
while
I turned
I
it
was
on
speaking.
right in the middle of a sentence.
Yes.
Hello, lovelies.
Today we're going to be talking about random
Yes.
facts. And speaking of random facts,
Here's I'm the queen of random. Actually, there's my T-shirt. I just wanted to show you something that I make, and I sent a couple out. These are wet felted cowls. This is all wet felt, and I do buy the natural fiber, the wool fibers. I dye them myself, and then do the wet felting. So I'm taking it off now because I could show it to you this way maybe. And there's shiny in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but no. But this is what they look like. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the shiny, viscose. But that's
they flow much nicer when you're not just wearing like a
yeah, yeah,
straight
really,
button down.
Yeah, I know. A
It's
man
definitely a
shirt.
little more like dressy winter jacket.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, they're really cool. And there's a lot of glitter in this, silver glitter. But I just wanted to show you. These are some of the things I make. And if you're ever interested in any of this stuff that we make, if you're ever interested, just give us a shout out.
Or if you have ideas, I'm like, oh,
Or-
I saw this
yeah.
cool thing. You look like you'd be able to make that, or you'd enjoy that. You know,
Yes.
send them our way.
Definitely. Yeah.
We'll always cool
Always.
articles you find.
Yeah.
If you have stuff you want to see on our channel, send it our way because we probably also want to read it. And I love learning. I love teaching. And
Yeah.
us learning.
Oh, I
fun
love
facts and
listening to what she has
cool
to say,
things
so
together.
I don't have to read.
I do all the work.
She does all the work.
But
I just sit here and smile.
so I don't have that many facts with this one.
That's
I just
right.
had a
There's a
couple
few.
cool ones that I thought were
It's a
pretty
quickie.
interesting. So I don't know if the name Robert Wallow sounds familiar to you, but he is
Is he a writer?
was lived some years ago.
Yeah, so I'm saying he's an older writer.
No, he
Wrong guy.
is
Who am I
a
thinking of?
very tall man. The tallest, actually, the tallest
Oh,
human
so
in
that's what
human
his
history.
thing is his height. So there was somebody, whatever.
Yes.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah. So he was the tallest human in history.
Oh, how tall?
8'11". And I have a couple images to show you really how tall this man was. But yeah, he lived in I believe he lived in Illinois, if I recall correctly.
That's too tall.
Here, and it was some time ago. So here is.
Oh my lord! Look at those legs.
That's just showing a picture of him on the bed, but it doesn't give you the greatest perception because he's on a bed obviously made for him, and
Yeah.
also we don't know how tall the man is or anything.
But you keep bumping your head when you're going into that.
Well, he talked about it.
Buying clothes, all
Oh
kinds
yeah,
of getting
all
in a
that.
car.
Obviously, like that would
it's
be.
really.
It's a difficult. I'm
Yeah.
not bringing him up because he lived an easy life. I'm bringing up because it's insane to be the tallest man.
Yeah.
He understood a lot about that. He recognized the fact that if he was going to go up to the corner, people were going to stop and like look at him.
and
and,
gawk at him
yeah.
too all the time.
You're making this
Hey,
very
look how tall
sad.
you are.
Like
Huh?
you're ripping away me talking about this man and making it the saddest thing ever.
Yeah.
He
but
was a very
he
happy
can get
human.
stuff off the top
He
shelf.
lived a very short life. He was a very happy human in the short life.
Okay.
You can tell by the judging picture. Negative Nancy over here. Yes, it isn't good to gawk at people. Yes, some people have different
Absolutely.
disabilities, but we're not really talking about that right now. We're talking about the man and how tall he was.
You said that people look at him. That's why I said.
I was just he was talking about the fact that he understood, being that he was so tall. When he went places, people were going to
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, wow, you are so tall." I mean, you saw how tall he was in comparison to the other
Oh
men
my
in the bed.
gosh, yeah.
But he was in the very short life he lived, dying at, I believe, 22 years old.
Oh.
From an infection. The photo I showed you first was for when he was 19 years old. But here's a picture of him with Kevin Hart, Shaq, and what's his name? Yao Ming,
Oh.
one of the shorter humans,
Oh my gosh.
with two of the taller humans, and then you can see Robert in the backdrop of this and how tall he was. Now,
Wow.
the tape measure that's there is, oops, right there. That's 1 foot shorter than a basketball hoop, like professional basketball.
Oh, he could slam dunk and not even have to.
He would just, his hand would
raise his arm
drop
all
in.
the way up. Wow.
So yes.
I met Andre the Giant. He was pretty tall too, and his head was huge.
Well, I guess since you already made the video super sad, we might as well go to this one.
Well, I didn't. I was just empathize or sympathize. Bella, help! I always
guess it would
forget.
be sympathize because you
Sympathize because I don't
you
understand.
can't possibly fathom
Yeah,
what that would be
sympathizing is when you don't understand, and
But you-
empathizing is when you
Yes.
do understand.
So speaking of empathy, let's talk about a man who had a lot of it.
Oh.
Robin Williams.
Oh.
Here is a
God
photo
bless
of him sitting with signing autographs for some of the homeless people in the area of one of the filmings he had. This was around 1988. One nice thing that he would do is he would not sign a movie contract of any kind until until it was written in that a certain amount of homeless people from the area would be hired. I wasn't able to get the exact number, but I can presume that that has to do with the concept that if you're filming in a very rural area that there's not that many places, you might not have a higher number of homeless, whereas if you're filming like New York City or one of those more condensed areas, they can probably hire more. But yet that was an absolute requirement.
I did not know
he
that
would not
about
sign
him.
contracts without that. And when he wasn't working, you would often find him in the streets talking to people, sharing stories, sharing meals, sharing times.
What a
He
beautiful
saw
soul he was.
the human in everyone, and that's something a lot of people lose sight of. Lose sight of your. And I talk about this all the time, but it's something I obviously really stand by. Is how quickly you dehumanize someone.
Yeah.
Like how quickly the person behind the counter that's ringing you up becomes no longer really important because you're inconvenienced. How quickly you can walk past somebody that's starving on the side of the road because it would be an inconvenience for you.
Well, it's also just you don't even look at it as it, like you said, you're literally dehumanizing them. They're just something. It could be a cat or a rock, and just have the same emotional attachment to it, and that's very sad. And we need to get
Robin
that
Williams
crap
is definitely somebody
straightened
that
out.
didn't think that way.
No, well, that's probably part of his issue was that he had so much love and compassion for people, and that's painful
Yes.
because we only could do so much, and when you want to save the world from pain and suffering,
when your heart aches to see suffering and it's around,
that's
it's hard because it doesn't matter. They say you can be told 10 compliments and one negative thing. The one negative thing is going to wipe out the 10 compliments.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can have all the love in your heart and see all these great situations, but then you walk by and you see that person, and even if you stop and you chat with them and you get them a sandwich, you're still talking to somebody that most people would throw rocks at or maybe toss a few dollars
They used to throw rocks at your dad.
Names like this. Well, that was just because he would wear ridiculous. He would layer
Can we
up
go off
to
on
go
that?
jogging. No, that's fine. Yeah, he would layer up to go jogging.
He was a
But
boxer.
instead of going and buying a bunch of expensive layers
Yeah.
of things, he would just layer up with whatever was around. So sometimes his outfits would be a little bit intense.
Yeah.
And
also
slightly
the silver,
less
like when you do the saran wrap to sweat to lose weight and all that. There was silver plastic pullover elastics on either end at your waist and sweatpants to match,
Yes.
and they were plastic, and he would wear that to go jogging, so to have more participation with that's the wrong word, sweat and just sweat.
Yes.
And there was the neighborhood we lived in was a pretty rough neighborhood, but the neighborhood we lived in, some of the kids used to hide behind trees and throw rocks at him as he was jogging by. And
You don't always live near a train that you can throw rocks at.
Yeah.
Another fun activity.
Yeah, so
you
you
shouldn't do it
throw
anymore. But
rocks
that's
at
what I do.
strange men
Or throwing
jogging.
rocks at rocks. If you have sandstone and you throw it against other rocks or even sandstone explodes really easy.
Oh.
In the sense of you could just throw it and it
It
was
just shatters?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Rocks
That's
at
fun.
rocks.
Well, did they rocks
The
on rocks?
pastime.
Yeah.
There used to be this little water hole area I would go to, and I'd like to go and throw rocks at rocks. And I remember this is in my adult years, because I would drive myself there after my job, And I show up, and there's, no one I really know, but there's a maybe 9-year-old-ish kid doing what I came there to do. And I went down there, and I actually got to teach him about sandstone. I was like, oh, you're picking up the wrong rocks, throw that one. And then he
nice.
saw how it. So I also thought it was pretty interesting because I chatted with this kid for a while, and the parents didn't come over and introduce themselves. And I'm a normal person.
You're a
but what if I
stranger,
was
though.
trying to
Abduct
steal
the
the
kid
kid
or
away?
something,
Yeah.
I guess they had their eye. Maybe they had a gun in their pocket.
That's very
You wouldn't have gotten
likely.
very far.
No.
Hey, you never know.
So, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, that's all I have on that.
That's all that. Well, We miss you, Robin Williams. Boy, we got
Robin Williams.
2 in a row with, well, a lot of people have gone. And, you know, prayers to everybody out there, too. Just since we're kind of on that, it's been a rough couple of years. And I know a lot of people that are going through some trying times right now, and some illnesses right now. And, you know, we really do pray for you. You're in our thoughts.
Sending love.
Yeah, sending positive vibes to everybody, and we don't need to have prayer for each individual person. We need just to pray universally,
Send out good
universal
energy, good
prayer
vibes,
for
manifest
all humanity,
positivity.
and it'll get there. I do believe it'll get there. Hey, on that kind of note, yeah, RBG, we love you, RBG. Hey, anyway, bye.